we're back. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you for waiting. Just had to deal with a little thing outside. A man thought he had left his coat in the theater, and we went looking and looking, couldn't find it, and then he pointed to my coat and said, "That's my coat." You were there when I bought this.
I was there when you bought it, and it was really confusing.
I was confusing. I said, "Well, this is of course made in
Vietnam.
Yes, and they'll push out, I assume, thousands at a time." And I said, "Sir, is this your size?" And, granted, mine is a little big on me. It probably would have fit him fine.
Yes, but yours is, it's a Premier Patagonia jacket, and it's very nice.
And I'm not about to give it up because someone is yelling at me.
And Bobby needs it to go kayaking, so I don't know how.
I need it for kayaking, hiking. We do a bit of each. Like they say, if the kayaking doesn't go well, might as well forget the hiking. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
But enough about that.
Let's go back to superheroes. So this little anecdote was really confusing, and it reminds me of the time and what we were talking about earlier when you went to the cinema with your girlfriend. Was it with your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
my then girlfriend.
His then girlfriend. He is.
You're gonna hear, when we delve into these stories, you're gonna hear a lot of sort of placing which girl is which, because I have a long history of.
He's got a long history. He's a very, very kind, very sensitive man, and
that's what they tell me.
I mean, yes, and it's really nice. And so he went that time with her.
Well, it's great to hear that from you, pal.
You're welcome.
All the best. All the best your way too.
So he went out, and it reminds me because you told me that you got kicked out of the cinema and that you couldn't watch the whole movie.
Sure did.
Of Captain Marvel.
No.
Because you had a weapon inside the cinema.
Exactly. My bows and arrows from, of course, like I said, my Hawkeye outfit.
They were real.
They were real, and, I see a lot of people with prop things, and I go, well, can you shoot it? Can it, break an apple?
I mean, those look real.
Yeah.
They look real to me.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that it can pierce material, like wood or, not flesh. My head went there, but, it could break glass. You see these flimsy props, and I figure, heck, I'm going to go through.
What can they do, really? They don't have any weight to them if they're made out of who knows what kind of cheap plastic.
Sure, I want to call them over sometimes and be like, hey, see this? And I want to take an arrow and snap it over my knee and sort of shrug and go, well,
who is it going to hurt now? Right?
Yeah, who's it going to hurt?
But then, of course, when you did that, you sliced your hand open.
Yes, terribly unfortunate. Had to go home in that instance too. That was one of the other Marvel movie things.
And his hand actually still has stitches in it.
Right.
But
she cheered me up that night. She found the movie online. She torrented it. Gave her computer many viruses.
You can't say
I can't
that. Whereas they didn't torrent it. They went to another respectable cinema location.
Yeah.
But yes, you did finally watch it. What did you think
I'm not gonna lie.
What did you think about the movie?
It was. In terms of the franchise, I felt it fit right in place. But when we talk about franchises, are we just talking about bricks on a rather boring wall in the mortar?
Brick in the wall. Yeah.
No. Well, if we want to talk about wall breaking, say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Deadpool.
Yes, that's a beautiful example of wall breaking. Really, the first time I ever put on the big screen, I had never seen wall breaking before, and it really, yes, you said it.
Absolutely. I think Hitchcock was the first to sort of mumble, "Oh, this is my movie," before a movie of his started. And that was wall breaking, but you were kind of going, "Okay, old man."
Okay, old man. Like, okay, get off the street.
Yeah,
I want to watch your movie. I don't care if you have a cameo in your own movie.
Right. He wore the trench coat, and you're kind of going, "Hey, buddy," you're rolling your eyes and saying, maybe to someone next to you or to yourself, what the heck is this about?
Yeah, where are you going to? Are you going to like a campus or a school somewhere? Like, why are you wearing a trench coat?
Is it rain? It doesn't look like it's raining.
It doesn't look like it's raining. And are you from the 1940s, 1930s?
And then to that, you would of course say yes, because
Well,
he was.
but you know what we're saying.
That sort of ends the conversation.
Yeah, so you know, like Hitchcock, get off the street. I only want to see Stan Lee having a drink or having a laugh, having a hoot.
Yes, a hoot and a holler, and which brings me to, of course, the great Stan Lee we lost. I believe it was to, what was it?
Old age?
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
Maybe it was old age. Hey
That's all?
Alexa. I don't think she's listening.
No, I unplugged it. We have a space heater in here. It's
Oh, we need the energy.
We need the heat.
And then our microphone, it's very expensive.
Sure.
And it draws a lot of power, this microphone.
It does. I had to dim all the lights in the whole theater just to make sure. These are really old outlets. I remember I had to charge a phone once, and they had to send me to the emergency room.
But the cinema has no electrical problems.
Right,
of
no,
any kind.
none of any kind. Never, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're giving me a look like,
I'm
don't
not-
sell us wrong. I'm not trying to, but I did get shocked, and my hands were wet. Granted.
All right, that was entirely his fault. And
Sure.
the cinema has no
It's not what the
relationship,
doctor said.
no bearing to that, and that's all right. And so, if we could get back to talking about superheroes,
Superheroes.
say it with me.
Superheroes. I got you. Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a superhero. I remember very clearly.
Me too.
You have the red wagon, and you're propping it up against the tallest hill in the neighborhood.
And then Dad comes in. He's riding in his Rolls Royce.
Yes, and Dad goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you, of course, go, "I'm a superhero, Dad."
And then Dad says, "Well, I'm gonna lose my deposit for the garden if you make it look wrong because this is a gated community. You gotta understand."
Right, and that sort of brings you down a notch. You, of course, think, "I'm not a superhero." And so you turn 30 years old and you discover loot crates in Marvel Cinema. And you think, "Oh, gee,
This can
can
really
save,
fill the hole.
fulfill." Exactly, there's a void in all of us that needs
Void.
crammed, filled, stuffed completely.
And why
What
not
else?
make it be full
Sure.
of culture, of cinema, of movies, and specifically Marvel movies? Because now my collection of superhero memorabilia isn't that great. I only have about 500 pieces, and even then they're
Nothing
not
compared to mine.
yeah, they're nothing compared to his. Which is, it's a shame. My apartment is not that big, and I ran out of shelf space. A couple days ago, I'm running a bit into technicalities here, but I was thinking of renting this storage space, and Bobby told me this was a great idea.
This is a great idea for any fan of anything. I mean, your wife will tell you, "Hey, get rid of this, get rid of that."
Well, how could you if it's like a figure that came out in the 90s,
Right,
and you're just gonna throw it away?
Right, near mint condition. Throw it. What does that even
Yeah.
mean? I don't know.
From the original same factory.
Sure,
Original factory.
Okay, sure, yeah. I'll put it in my hand and put my hand near the garbage can. My hand on its own is gonna divert.
That's true.
It's going to move away.
Whenever I'm forced into that position, I'm shaking.
I'm shaking.
Physically shaking. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what to do. It makes me so mad. And then I remember, yes, but she's the love of my life, and I gotta
Right.
find
After a few
some
days.
sort of compromise.
Yeah, compromise is really, I guess today's talk is about relationships.
No, it's about superheroes.
It's about, yeah, of course. Well, of course,
It's-
movies come first.
What do you think about
In my life.
every single superhero? That's true. Movies, I'm married to movies.
I'm married to movies.
First, before my wife.
This is me. Movies, career, wife. I'm sorry. She knows it. I put it on almost every surface, every wall in our house.
Every social media, it's on his main
Yep.
page in Facebook.
Yep. And if you'd like to follow us, by the way, on social medias.
Subscribe to Lucas Theater on YouTube. It's the British pronunciation. And then the original pronunciation, as we like to call it humorously here in the office. And then you can follow us on Instagram at Theater Lucas. Or, I mean, on Instagram at The Real Lucas Theater.
Sure.
Don't believe the other accounts. And then you can follow us on Twitter at Theater Lucas. It's been great talking about superheroes today. I think we really
tackled a lot.
Yeah.
Just sort of unpacking the Marvel universe
it's
is
so dense and rich and full of.
sure. And hopefully you'll be unpacking your Loot Crate very soon on lootcrates.com.
That was very smooth. A very smooth transition.
Sometimes I have these great schemas in my head that activate and I sound intelligible for about 30 to 45 seconds. And I'm completely fine with it. It has everyone fooled. And I step back and think, well, this is really how the podcast originated. We were just sitting here talking.
We were talking about Marvel movies, and then we thought, wow, what we're saying is so smart and original and important.
Important above all.
And I think, everybody should listen to what we have to say about the Marvel universe. Because really, working here at the cinema and having this great office in the closet, nevertheless, it's a great office. And we are so close to movies every day.
And what do they say? They call it a walk-in closet when you can sort of walk through it. I consider this a walk-in closet. It may be 4 square feet. I consider this a walk-in closet. I walked into it.
Yeah.
I walked in.
You're
in here.
I consider this a stay-in closet because
Oh,
you just
sure.
want to stay in all day.
Yeah,
And we do. But
I do. I watch movies and I say, good riddance.
yeah, and so, it's great to see that there are so many movies coming out every day. So many movies about superheroes.
Yes.
And so I hope you guys will join us for part 2 of our superhero series here at the Lucas Theater podcast. Lucas Pod. The Lucas Pod.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
We wrote that down. We didn't just make that. It's a Lucas Pod.
Lucas Pod.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be up on YouTube, and hopefully we can get it up on
Some sort of money would be nice.
iTunes.
Hopefully that's not asking too much. Just some little
Yes.
kickback.
Please follow us. Get on our.
I wear this shirt every day.
Patreon account.
Patreon.
If you guys could go on our Patreon, that would be
Haven't had a bath.
really nice. I need to pay for this storage space. She said I can't keep them in the apartment anymore. And it's... Well, we can talk about it later.
Sure. And, well, that's us signing off. And you have a very movie day.
Have a very movie day.